Hello everyone, I'm Tiana S reporting for Kids First, and today I'm speaking with the amazing Miss Marlene Sharp. She is a former worker at Sega who worked on Sonic the Hedgehog, and she did a little bit of work with the Sonic Boom series as well as the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. How are you today?
Good, good. What about yourself?
I'm doing great, super excited to speak with you. We talked a little bit behind the scenes, and I'm looking forward to learning more.
Yes, I'm excited to tell you more.
All right. So Sonic the Hedgehog is in theaters now. And so where did the idea of creating Sonic the Hedgehog come from?
Well, not from me. It came from a collaboration, between Sega of America and Sega of Japan way back in the early 90s. So Sonic is actually 31 years old this year, and he really was a collaborative effort between two offices of Sega on different sides of the world.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that there was a part from America and Japan, because I know there is actually an anime version of Sonic the Hedgehog, so that's actually a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing story. There's actually a book called Console Wars by a gentleman named Blake Harris. And if you really want to dig deep into the origin story of Sonic, I highly recommend it because it talks also about the rivalry between Sega and Nintendo in the early 90s. And the creation of Sonic very much came out of that rivalry and Sega wanting to overtake Nintendo as a company. Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty interesting story. I have to check that out.
Yeah?
Yes. Sorry. So you were a part of Sonic the Hedgehog, the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 team, and it was such a amazing film, and it had some surprise guests. So how did you decide what surprise elements to include in that film?
Well, it wasn't me all by myself. There were probably 100 or more people who worked on the movie through the years because the movie was in development probably for 10 years or more before I came on board. But one thing that was key to the first movie is attention to the fan base and really on Sega's part listening to what the fans wanted through observing conversations in social media and feedback on the Twitch channel and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and then trying to incorporate Easter eggs and fan favorite things into the movie. And I think in the first movie they did an excellent job with that, and haven't seen movie 2 yet, but I expect that there will be more of the same.
Yeah, you should definitely check that out. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was amazing, and I think just like I was telling you behind the scenes, like the surprise element of the Tails appearance at the end of the first movie, everybody in the theater went crazy. So much cheering, so much clapping. Even I was. So I think the surprise elements are a good thing to add.
Yeah, and also Tails is a fan favorite. I mean, Tails just launched his own YouTube show. His own YouTube show recently on the. I think it's on the Sonic official channel on YouTube. And I would speak more eloquently about this, except I don't work for Sega anymore.
Right.
So not on the payroll, so I'm not privy to all the secrets, and I don't have just the recall that I did when I was working at Sega. But I have friends who work there, and I know they were promoting the Tails new show very much lately.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so one thing that I know is, and I'm also hoping, is that there is going to be a third movie, and so far we have only gotten boy characters. So do you hope that there's going to be more girl characters, and what girl characters would you like to see?
That is an excellent question, and yes, I would love to see Amy Rose for sure, because first of all, pink is my favorite color, so Amy Rose is close to my heart. I dressed up as Amy Rose before, more than once, and I just love Amy Rose. And so, yes, I'd love to see her. But there is a plan for a third movie, but I don't know whether Amy Rose will be a part of that. But I hope so.
That would be cool, because there are a lot, like I looked it up, there are a lot of girl characters that are throughout the years, and I think that would be also a good message towards girl power, showing that, no, it's not only about the boy characters like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, who are right now in the series, that there are also girl characters that even girls who watch the film can relate to more than the guy characters.
Oh yeah. There were a number of girl characters that were featured in social media when I was working there. So we would try to bring out some of the supporting game characters through the years, and just feature them on social posts and things like that. And but I don't know. I hope that there's an effort to put them in movies and future TV shows and things like that. We had in Sonic Boom, there was another girl character named Styx.
Yes, I remember Styx.
She was invented. Excuse me. She was invented specifically for Sonic Boom. So her character might technically be retired because Boom, that version of Sonic is retired. But again, I don't work for Sega anymore, so I don't know all the secrets, all the details behind the scenes of development that I used to know.
Yeah, well, I definitely hope that they bring some more characters, even Rouge the Bat.
Oh,
she would be someone cool to see inside the series.
Rouge the Bat, yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So, as I mentioned before, you were a former worker of Sega who actually helped work with the creation of Sonic. Mm-hmm. So, what was your proudest moment on that journey?
Well, one of the proudest moments was when Sonic turned 25. So that was way back in 2016. Seems like just yesterday. But we had to prepare a lot of celebrations for Sonic throughout that whole year. And the team that I worked with was relatively new because Sega had moved its U.S. offices from San Francisco down to Burbank the previous year, and almost all of us working in that office were new hires. So there were only a couple of people who came down from San Francisco to work in Burbank. Otherwise, most of us were new.
Right.
So all of a sudden we had to scramble and come up with all these creative ideas to celebrate Sonic's birthday. So we did this big extravaganza at Comic-Con 2016 to celebrate Sonic's birthday, and one of those was a 4-hour live stream that just the fact that we got through it was a miracle. It was quite an undertaking, and there were some hiccups, but it lives in infamy now. People still remember it, and in fact, Callista, who interviewed me the last time for Kids First, she asked me about it behind the scenes, and she told me something like, I was brave to admit that I worked on it because there were so many hiccups, and she's like, oh, you're not afraid to say that you worked on that? I was like, no, I survived it. I am very proud. But when you do something that's live and it's being streamed as you do it, and to go on, we did it for 4 hours without stopping, and we had musical acts, we had the actors from Sonic Boom came and did a staged reading. We had Sonic, the costume character. I mean, it was just like a whole circus of Sonic for 4 hours, and it was quite a lot of preparation, and so yeah, I was very proud of that. No matter how other people think it turned out.
Yeah, that sounded like a fun event. I wish I could have gone to that. That sounded fun, but I think I probably would have been 6 or 7. You said, wait, which year did you say?
It was 2016.
Yeah, I would have been 6
okay,
at the time.
Yeah.
But that sounds fun.
You probably, I don't know. It was at the House of Blues in San Diego, and so we sold tickets. So I wonder if there was an age limit. I don't even remember, because the House of Blues is like a bar kind of an atmosphere. So maybe you couldn't have gotten it. But you could have watched it, and I think you can still watch it on Twitch and on YouTube. The whole extravaganza is still there.
Yeah, I have to check that out. That sounds fun. So Sega was your first time working at a video game company. So what kind of tips or tricks did you learn from working there that have helped you out with your career?
Well, going back to the fan base, I mean, the fans are everything behind these franchises, that especially the ones that have been around for such a long time, and franchises that are established as video games and TV and movies and toys. They have many different manifestations. It's very important to listen to the fans and to make the fans, especially the fans who are there because of nostalgia, make them feel important and listened to and incorporate their ideas, because most of the time they know far more about the history and all the nuances of the mythology more than the employees, who are most of the time just workers and they might love the things that they're working on, but if they aren't a hardcore fan, they won't love it as much as the fans. So after I worked at Sega, I went to work for another Japanese video game company that is called Level 5. And so I worked on a property called Yokai Watch.
Oh, I know this.
And so I've always worked on the film and TV and some social media aspects of these video game franchises, or I worked on toy franchises and things like that, and different intellectual properties, but from the film and TV side. But there were a lot of similarities between Yokai Watch and Sonic, so I was glad I had the Sonic experience behind me.
Yeah, I kind of see why you would say that. I have seen Yokai Watch before, and like thinking about the, I think it's called Sonic X, the anime version. I do see a lot of, I can't see the similarities that they have.
Yep.
Yes. So I've seen Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and the fans are all in when it comes to Sonic. I know you talked a little bit about it, but how important are the fans to making Sonic?
Very important, because so Sonic has this long history now, and a lot of the kids who played Sonic in the beginning in the early 90s are now grown-ups, and they've been with the franchise all that time. So not only do they know the canon, the characters and how they fit into the universe, but they also know people who have worked at Sega, both Sega Japan, Sega Europe, Sega of America. They know far more about the intellectual property than most of the employees. Some of the employees weren't even born when Sonic was first introduced to the world. So I think there's a lot to be gained by interacting with the fans, like through fan cons and also through social media. And yeah, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you did. And so for my last question, we talked a little bit behind the scenes about you going to see the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. I definitely recommend it. And for anyone watching who hasn't seen it, it's in theaters now. Make sure you do. So what are you hoping to see, since you are someone who worked on creating Sonic and you're someone who's worked with him all this time, even though you don't work at Sega anymore, you've still been with his journey. What are you hoping to see with this second movie?
Well, I want to see more of my friends from Sega of America credited on the big screen. There are, at least with the first movie, there were a lot of people who are very instrumental, and I gotta say, myself included, who were not on screen in the credits.
Wow.
And it is a very political process, so that little bit of I'm killing the dream, I guess, a little bit for those of you who want to pursue this as a career, but it's very competitive and political as far as whose name gets to be in the credits, and also what order of the credits. Like the people whose names come up big in the beginning of the film, and you see it very prominently, those people are important to the film. But it's hard for the audience at home to know what exactly they did versus the people who were lost in that whole big credit scroll at the end. And then also, there's usually a limit put on even the people in the whole big long credit roll at the end. So I know a lot of people who were left out of the first one. So I know. So my goal is to see more of my friends' names, especially those who are still at Sega, they've been there for several years now and have worked really hard. I hope that their names get in the credits.
Yeah, that would be something cool to see.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. This has been amazing.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's all for this interview for Kids First. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our next reviews or interviews. Again, I'm Tiana S. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Stand still and die!
For a guy named Knuckles, you are really bad at punching.